Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we are going to be talking about My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 22. Only 3 episodes left. And let me tell you, this episode was great. Great part of the My Villain Academia arc, but I also felt like it was rushed, as was the Toga episode last week. And I think it's going to just leave us wanting a lot more, and possibly might make me want to actually read the manga for this part of it so I can get a lot more background on the villains, which doesn't really happen. There's a little bit of background on the villains. We definitely get some background on Twice in this episode, but I just feel like it's being rushed. Don't get me wrong, it's good. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching these characters grow, but I feel like we could just do like an entire season just on this one arc, and they're putting it into like 5 or 6 episodes. So next episode, we're going to get more about Todoroki's past. Not Todoroki, Tomoru's past, Shigaraki. I keep mixing their names up. They both start with T. And then who knows where we're going for the rest of the season. Probably just some background on some other villains. Haven't done Compress, haven't done Spinner, haven't done Dabi yet. So if they all get their own kind of episode, then that'll kind of be all she wrote for the rest of the season. But this episode was primarily about Twice. We left off with these puppets that this one guy controls from the Liberation Army. He made them look like Twice to kind of mess with his psychological, his mind, things along those lines. And he's at the point where he's controlling them, and he's trying to kill Toga, basically holding her, trying to snap her neck. And she is slowly waking up. She is slowly becoming conscious, and she is fighting it to a certain extent. Meanwhile, they're trying to hold Twice down so that way he cannot stop these puppets. The puppets seem to be very weak for the most part, but because Twice is so messed up psychologically, there's really not a lot that he can do until they break his arms. So they end up breaking both of his arms and or severely hurting him, something along those lines, which he seems to recover from instantly, so maybe he has some sort of healing ability, or he replicated some sort of healing ability from somebody, because his arms don't seem to be really broken for the rest of it. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just the angle, because we do see a large amount of his clones moving forward throughout the rest of the episode. And what ends up happening is he finally realizes that, oh crap, I am the original. So he ends up duplicating a bunch of his own clones in order to save Toga, help Shigaraki, help Spinner, help Compress, help Dabi, basically help the entire League of Villains. And it's just this giant, massive plethora of clones all over the place. And it's kind of cool to see Twice in his prime, see him being able to replicate himself. He also makes clones of his allies as well, going against Redestro later in the episode. And it's really interesting just to see Twice kind of get into his own and see how powerful it is. We've heard from Twice before that, if Twice was mentally correct, he could take down an entire nation fairly easily, because he can just keep duplicating himself. While he himself can only make 2 copies of himself, his copies can make copies, then make copies, and so on and so forth. Infinite copies. When they disperse, they turn into just giant, like, mud-like sludge thing going on. But the pain and the love for his teammates, his comrades, got him back in the right mindset. So I think he's going to be good for the foreseeable future. Maybe he might fall back into it here and there, but he has his comrades to rely on. They will be able to help him get through it. So he has become a massive asset to this, because Giga has not shown up yet. We learn from Compress, pulls out a pocket watch in the episode, that there's still an hour and 5 minutes before Giga shows up. However, the doctor, trying to help them, trying to make Shigaraki more powerful, stronger, he's actually trying to help them. So he actually ends up waking up Giga early. So that, I think, is going to definitely help. Giga's going to show up there early and just wreak havoc on everybody and everything in his way. Next episode, most likely, is what we're going to see. What we learn about Twice past is, his parents died when he was in middle school, so kind of tragic backstory. Didn't really have any family, didn't really have any friends, got beat up a lot. We learned that this guy, helped him get a job, and then apparently one of the people that they were working for jumped out in front of him on his motorcycle, and he ended up hitting him by accident. Complete accident. He was doing the speed limit, nothing in the wrong, and then just gets treated like human garbage for an accident that was completely not his fault. And that led him to be even more of a loner, fall into the villainous field, where he made multiple copies of himself in order to rob banks, things along those lines. He basically got on the most wanted list in the process. And then somewhere along the lines, he ended up injuring himself with his clones, because he was unaware that like his clones were making duplicates, and those duplicates were killing things. So he was all technically killing things, but because the clones are kind of have their own consciousness to a certain extent, he was kind of freaking out, splitting apart. That's when he ended up injuring himself, getting the scar on his forehead, and then he ran into Giran, Broker rather, and that's how he ended up with the League of Villains, finding his family, getting himself back into the correct mental mindset to help his family, and now here we are. The entire storyline, I felt like, same with Toga. They could have done it easily, 2 or 3 episodes. Made it longer, gave us some more backstory, but they just kind of crammed it in there with a combination of Redestro in there, a little bit of Shigaraki and Spinner in there as well, what their plans are, and Twice to the rescue is basically the best way to describe this episode. Meanwhile, while that is going on, he saves Toga and saving everybody, pretty much, helping Dabi out. Dabi is still fighting the ice guy, not really making any leeway there. Shigaraki ends up getting to the head tower where Redestro is in it, ends up touching it, decaying the entire tower. So Shigaraki's abilities are definitely getting stronger. He has the ability to drop an entire building at this point in time, which is kind of crazy. And it's going to be him versus Redestro. So we know that Redestro's abilities are very similar to the one of the females in Class 1B, where basically she can enlarge her body parts. Very strong, very powerful, has like the giant fists. He can do that with primarily his left arm. We've only really seen it with his left arm in this particular episode, but I'm sure we'll get to see Redestro get stronger. He was talking about how the Liberation Army was formed by his father, Destro, and that the term quirk actually came from Destro's mother. She had a child with a quirk at that point in time. Quirks were still kind of frowned upon. No, they didn't call it like mutation or something along those lines, manifestation, whatever you want to call it. She ended up calling it a quirk. They dug it up later on, and then they used that term to kind of play it down, make it not sound as mean, make it not sound as cruel, even though it was still kind of mean and cruel, because the whole thing behind the Liberation Army, Liberation Front, whatever you want to call it, is they want everybody to be able to use their powers all the time at full power without really any repercussions for their actions. Which that's not how society currently works in My Hero Academia. You have to get licenses, permits. You can get arrested for using your full abilities, especially if they cause damage to people or surroundings, buildings, injuries, things along those lines, so on and so forth. And it can definitely be a major problem. But that is the whole idea. I think Shigaraki is kind of warming up to that idea, and his ideas are kind of growing more into that as well. With Giga on the way, because we got to see Giga coming, he's going to wreak havoc and destroy a bunch of things. I think in the next episode or 2, they're going to be able to subdue Giga, defeat him. Shigaraki is going to become the new All for One, basically, is how I think how that's going to play out. And then I think anybody that was following Redestro that wasn't dead, because he's going to have to defeat Redestro. There's no doubt about it. Redestro is either going to end up dying, or he's going to end up becoming an underling of Shigaraki. I think is how that's going to end up happening. I don't know. We'll wait and see how. I'm assuming he's going to die because he's the head of everything, so it would make sense that he dies while Shigaraki takes over and then gets a giant friggin' army. So I think that's what's ultimately going to happen. He's going to be like, you can join me or die, and they will just all choose to join him. He's like, I'm going to take on similar ideas to Redestro, but I need to be the leader, not him, because I am all for one. Not him. He is not powerful. I am powerful. Things along those lines. Overall, excellent episode. I enjoyed watching it. I know I'm giving this one to you guys a day late, technically, about 24 hours after the episode release. Nothing too bad. I was a little bit busy on Saturday, but still getting the reviews out. I got to do my Guitar Channel video today as well. Check out the Guitar Channel if you're interested in that. We're going to give this one 8 out of 10. It's the same as last episode, excellent content, but at the same time, I feel like it was kind of rushed. They could have done more with the background for the villains, taken out some of the filler episodes this season, and not sacrifice it completely for the movie. It feels exactly like what they're doing, and that is exactly what they're doing, and it sucks. But it is what it is. 3 episodes left. I'm going to need some more stuff to review. You can look forward to the final Rick and Morty review tomorrow. I will be uploading that tomorrow at some point in time. And then, yeah, 3 episodes left. So I'm definitely going to need some future animes to review. Otherwise, you're going to be getting a lot more of those meme videos. And a lot of you seem to like those meme videos. They've been getting more views. I've been getting 70, like anywhere from like 70 to 200 to 300 views per video. So I think we're going to keep up with the meme videos, keep doing them. Hopefully it'll grow my subscriber base a bit where I can actually finally get monetized. I've been doing this for a while now. I want to hit that 1,000 mark. Need to hit that watch time mark as well. Maybe I'll do some more in-depth videos as well. Let me know what you want to see in the comments. You know, obviously I take suggestions to heart and I try to do them to the best of my ability when someone suggests them. You know, I think once or twice I didn't do a suggestion because it was more on the Schmente related field, which I do not want to be doing. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that right now, because then everything gets demonetized and it becomes a giant mess. So we're gonna stick to regular anime. And cartoons are fine too. You know, I'll review a Bugs Bunny episode. If you got a favorite Bugs Bunny episode or something along those lines, let me know in the comments down below. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below. Anything you really want me to do for cartoon anime related videos. Thanks for watching yet again, and as always, have a good one.